Welcome back, everybody. Derek Sue, your Oakland special election mayoral candidate. And today, what I want to talk about is why I'm running for Oakland mayor. And one of the most important things that we've accomplished here in the city of Oakland is the recall of a very incompetent and unqualified mayor and named Shane Tao. So that's the hard part. Now we have an opportunity to right what was wrong, and a very short amount of time to get things started. And I say that in the sense that on April 15th is the special election for Oakland's replacement mayor. And I'm one of those running for that position. And the opportunity that I'm talking about is to change the course and direction of where Oakland is headed. Right now, Oakland is the Titanic, and we are up to the windows sinking. Lights haven't gone out, but we're sinking, and we're sinking fast. And we need something to change what's happening in Oakland. We have high levels of homelessness. We have unaffordable housing here in the city of Oakland. We're losing businesses. Crime is out of control in the city of Oakland. So I have solutions for every one of these predicaments that Oakland is in. And the first thing also on, or the next thing that's also on people's minds, is the financial crisis going on in the city of Oakland. Well, I have a stopgap measure that will definitely stop the bleeding, so to speak, in the sense that the homeless sweeps cost the city of Oakland a tremendous amount of money. And these are the numbers out of the city auditor's office. And to do a sweep on an encampment for one day, the hourly cost is $1,500 per hour. And so that includes city personnel, DPW, Department of Public Works, the workers, and then the police escorts that are necessary to move the people and to cordon off the work zones so that these encampments can be swept away, destroyed and swept away. The other thing that also does a lot of harm is that in these encampments, the city is supposed to bag and tag everything that are in the encampment, and they don't. They've lied to the courts, and the courts have also acknowledged that the city has done wrong. And we've already beaten the city in a lawsuit by Anita B., who is one of the Oakland homeless advocates that I work with. And she was, her lawsuit gave property. Also, she has a voice in the encampment management policy revamp, because the city's been ordered to revamp and go through the EMP, encampment management policy, and make changes that are real. And so there's a lot of things that are happening. But going back to the cost, the daily cost is $12,000 in personnel. That's the personnel part. Then we have the dump fees. The dump fees can literally double that amount. So we can be looking at $24,000 to $25,000 daily cost to conduct these sweeps. And the city of Oakland has in the past conducted sweeps 21 days out of 30. 21 days out of 30. That is a significant number. That is over $500,000 in expense to you, the Oakland taxpayer, that Oakland administrators have been doing. And so if you elect me Oakland's mayor, the first thing that we do in terms of cutting costs, we stop that. We halt all street encampment sweeps. But at the same time, we're not going to allow the proliferation of any new camps. So there's going to be a plan in place. Also, I am in possession of a 20-acre site for development for a long-term permanent settlement for our unhoused folks. And that is in East Oakland. It's the Caltrans property that was awarded to me back in May of 2020 because we won a lawsuit against the state of California, Caltrans, and the court ordered not only a monetary award, but also community land trusts. And these were for long-term permanent settlements, and they have a lot of restrictions. And the problem that I've had here in the city of Oakland and in Alameda County is zero support for the program for a long-term settlement. Not short-term like what Oakland has done for the past decade, and they're all failures. And in fact, a failure to a point of over $100 million in City of Oakland taxpayer dollars. And so we have to take a whole different direction on this. And a lot of you will say, well, we don't want to give them homes. Well, if we gave them homes, we wouldn't be in this situation right now because they would have somewhere to be and they would have safety, security, and oversight. And that's what I'm proposing with the change and allowing new settlements, because we have 2 settlements already engineered and ready to roll. Just that we've had zero support, and there are no city council people that have supported this. In fact, all city council members, except for one, has said, no, we don't want a long-term settlement. We don't want a long-term permanent settlement, because that's what these are. And it's important that we put these in place. And then on top of that, we have to attract outside interest and cause excitement here in the city of Oakland. And the last time that happened here in the city of Oakland, unfortunately, was under Jerry Brown's leadership. But with his leadership, he brought a lot of prosperity to the city of Oakland. He did a lot of harm to the city of Oakland also, which I plan on turning around. What I say, righting Oakland's wrongs. And so we're going to change a lot of things in the sense that we are going to have housing settlements for our unhoused folks. And they're not going to be called encampments. They're going to be called settlements, because these are long-term 50-year settlements that we have contracted alongside Caltrans with these community land trust properties. So the property is overseen by a third party who is neutral to the city and to the county, and ensures that everything is run properly and to the regulations and requirements that we put down. And these are settlements that hold anywhere from 250 to 500 single-family homes. And these aren't just shacks. These aren't tents. These are real homes. These are all steel frame, steel sided homes, so that they're literally fire resistant, fireproof. They're built out in a custom manner to each resident's needs, the needs of the family. And also how we get them into those is through an old program that Alameda County ran, which was called Sweat Equity Down Payment. And so families that don't have money or even zero income can be a part of this program. And these are all 100% affordable housing units that I'm proposing. And we're talking anywhere from 1,000 to nearly 6,000 of these types of units throughout Oakland. And then to cause great excitement, you have to have something that's different that nobody else has done. And so that's the Oakland Middle Harbor project, the cruise ship project. And this is a substantial project that I've been talking about since 2017, just that nobody really wanted to listen, because the bottom line, the answer that I typically get from people who don't want a long-term program: we're not going to buy any ships. Well, exactly. The city of Oakland, the county of Alameda, will not be buying ships. In fact, all of those ships will be on HOA. They will be homeowner associations and also business owner associations associated with each one of those ships. And there's a special program called the 2/3 program. And there's 3 parts to the 2/3 program. And it is incredible, the amount of money that is generated, the project and the ships, the residencies are all self-insured. Yeah, they're self-insured, and they provide a lot of low-cost opportunities for businesses to have and own their site. Yes, own their site. My overall goal is to increase Oakland's home ownership population from an all-time low, currently at 38% home ownership here in the city of Oakland. And with my plan, we will go over 52% home ownership, and also we will increase the business ownership, which ensures long-term success for those business owners that are willing to take the leap. And also, there are folks that say Oakland needs a casino for those tax dollars. I agree 100%. Guess what's on the cruise ship program? Yes, those casinos that bring in those much needed tax dollars to save the city of Oakland. And so these are all great programs and projects. Also, and what's great about this, it doesn't leave anybody out. Everybody's inclusive in the projects throughout Oakland. And I'm not talking about a 1-year, 2-year, 3-year project. I'm talking about projects that extend 20, 25 years into the future and guarantee a high level of prosperity. It reduces crime. It addresses the poverty here in the city of Oakland, creates a new business, entertainment, and residential district, which is going to bring in millions and millions of tax dollars to the city of Oakland, to the county of Alameda, and to the state of California. And so this is a major project. And with that, I want to talk about my family and how it's associated with this project, because I'm running not on ego, because that's the problem that we have had in the past. Mayors that ran on their ego. They brought literally nothing to the table. That was our last 3 mayors. They brought nothing to the table. I tried to help Libby. And what ended up happening, 2 of my incredibly would have been successful programs got destroyed. The first one, which would have helped Oakland save on spending the millions of dollars on third-party interventions by having self-governed and co-governed encampments throughout Oakland, rather than how they go about it now, and with third-party interventions. And the third-party interventions do a lot of harm, and that's why a lot of people don't. A lot of encampments avoid them. They will refuse to talk to them. I myself, I even banned two of those intervention agencies from my encampment in East Oakland because of the harm and the lies that they told. And yet, the reason why the city of Oakland uses them is to lay the blame somewhere else on their inefficiencies, and then there's no accountability with the interventions. In fact, another homeless advocate, Mike Lee, who's deceased now, him and I really expose third-party intervention agency that was a big part of Oakland's homeless solution at the time, which was called BACS, B-A-C-S, Bay Area Community Service. And so now they are no longer in the city of Oakland because of Mike Lee and myself exposing their lies and their literally everything was a lie that came out of their mouth. They provided no paperwork. They were not accountable to anything. And the programs that they housed people with were absolutely horrible. I can pull up several examples from KPIX, Channel 5. We worked with Susie Steimel at the time, who was the specialist talking about homeless solutions at the time. And we were a big part of a lot of stories here in Oakland, Alameda County, Berkeley, and the East Bay. So we've had an impact. And like I said, homelessness is on a lot of people's minds. And if you follow my channel, I explain what goes on in those homeless camps, and a lot of them are strongholds for criminal activity. We've seen that on at Wood Street for years. We saw that also at Home Depot on High Street, on Alameda Avenue here in Oakland. And in fact, there was a major story about a criminal that was apprehended there, and they had 30 automatic weapons and over 10,000 rounds of ammunition in the vehicle with that person. And so these are type of things that I've been working on with law enforcement, exposing criminals, getting criminals off the street. I've also been a victim of crime here, right here. That's one of the visible scars that you'll see. I was mugged by 3 criminals who were intent on killing me and robbing me back in 2014. And that was 4 stitches. I managed to defend myself, and I also had a pit bull, which was my dog, and so that helped me also. And then most recently, I've been a victim of a business invasion takeover robbery, and I still have the scars from that robbery. That was done in the middle of the night by a gang. I had some people on my property, my workers, who had some lax ideas about security, and then that's what allowed the criminals, the gang of 8, to enter my business here and take over the business. And they beat us. They beat us, kicked us. You see swellings on, right here. That one was a kick, and also a broken fractured eye socket. Also, they kicked me so hard they broke the bones in my hand. And this was just before Thanksgiving. So this was recent. And the pathetic police response. We had a silent alarm, armed silent alarm, and a person in the safe room talking to the dispatch. So it should have been a 5-minute response by police. 5 minutes. No, 40 minutes. It took 40 minutes for OPD to show up here. They surrounded the property, but yet all 8 criminals got away with their guns and everything. In fact, 3 ran right out in front of Oakland police, got into a car and drove away. And you say, why didn't the police do something? Why? Because of Oakland's do not pursue policy. That's why we have so much crime here in Oakland, and why the governor, Gavin Newsom, has warned and threatened the city of Oakland to change that policy. I have been a victim of that policy. And so these are things that have to be changed. We need to deal with the budget. We need to deal with homelessness, bringing that cruise ship project to the city of Oakland, getting those tax dollars from the casinos that will operate on board those ships. So these are ways that we can bring new money into the general fund, pay off that $129 million deficit, and have a $129 million overage. Wouldn't that be incredible? And not have to worry like we've been worrying over the last 17 years about everything. That's why I'm running for the city of Oakland. I have the experience. I have 20 years working for a Department of Defense in counterterrorism. So I know a lot about crime, criminals, and terrorism. And that's my specialty. And that's where we're going to shine here in Oakland. We're going to make a lot of policy changes. In fact, we're going to get rid of that federal oversight person, Warshaw, and we're going to bring in a real program. We're going to take that money that we pay Warshaw. We're going to pay a real agency, a primary agency in safety and security here in America, in fact, is who I'm bringing in. That's the contacts that I have. I don't know of any other candidate who has my experience, my background, and also the history of family here in the city of Oakland. You may not have heard about my great-grandfather, but he was one of the founders, big founders here in the city of Oakland. In fact, he's credited at being one of the 10 founders of the Oakland Chinatown. And that's my great-grandfather, Lu Hing. And that's the kind of notoriety that we bring. You should look him up. We put our family cannery, Pacific Coast Cannery, put Oakland on the world map back in World War I. We supplied all the canned goods to the restoration of Belgium and then the restoration of Europe after World War I. And so we were a major player here in the city of Oakland, and at one time, Oakland's biggest year-round employment family. So we know how to do things and how to get things done. And then you folks are probably saying, well, what have you guys done recently? Well, let me talk about that. My close cousin, Bruce Kwan Jr. Some of you may know Bruce Kwan Jr. Some of you may not know that name. Some of you may find, why does that name sound familiar? That's because Bruce Kwan Jr., he ran for Oakland at-large city council member back in 2016. He lost to Rebecca Kaplan back in 2016. That's where you know the name from. Also, another thing that you may not know, the ceasefire program, Bruce Kwan Jr. was one of the architects of that program. So our family's been involved with politics in the city of Oakland for a long time. We still maintain a presence in the city, the Chinatown area. We have our family association building. Bruce Kwan has the keys to that in the Oakland Chinatown. So that's an area that needs revitalization also because it's an old area and it was created at the time when our cannery became a major and important factor right after 1906 earthquake. And people were fleeing and trying to figure out how to have housing. Our cannery, our family supplied that housing. Our family supplied that food with the cannery here in Oakland to support and provide stability for the unstable times that were happening. And we're experts at this. So we're going to do a lot of things here in Oakland. We're going to turn Oakland around first by working on the budget, getting new money into the coffers, and that's how we're going to pay off that deficit. We're going to pull some bonds and pay it off with casino money and also EIFD project monies. So, and then we're going to go from $129 million deficit to an $129 million overage, and not have the financial woes that we've had. But you have to have the right people who know what they're doing. I was a commander of a major agency here for the Bay Area, for the federal government in counterterrorism. I had a $5.5 billion budget. I think I know what I'm doing. Oakland only has $2.2 million budget, which was the last budget I saw, but we'll see what comes up. But we know what to do, and I have experts. It's not just me in the financial world. I have a team that is very, very good at what they do, and we'll turn Oakland around. We'll balance the budget easily and get things going. Housing. People are saying, well, what about housing? We need affordable housing. Oakland's had a problem with getting affordable housing. I have that solution. It's our cruise ship program, and everything there is affordable. Even if you have zero income, we have a place for you that is affordable. And it comes back to my 2/3 program, the 2/3, 2/3, 2/3 program. And so there's a lot to that, and I'll be talking about that as the campaign moves forward. Also, we'll be able to not only have 26,000 new 100% affordable housing units, but we are also going to make the RHNA, the RENA housing requirement allotment easily with the 26,000 housing unit, affordable housing units, with the cruise ship program and with the two settlements. So we'll easily, for the first time, meet the federal RENA requirements for our area. As in the last, we're just ending the current RENA period, and we missed our target by 16,000 housing units, affordable housing units. And so this is a part of ABAG, Association of Bay Area Governments, which reports housing needs to the federal government. And then that's how we get federal monies. One of the biggest things that I do want to bring up, and I'm glad that Shang Tao is gone. I spoke with Zenny on this, and a lot of people don't know about this particular thing. That $15 million loss of tax dollars from the state of California, well, that's a drop in the bucket compared to what she actually did lose, which is $980 million, which was on the table. And that was put on the table back in October of 2022 when Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg was in the city of Oakland here visiting. And a lot of us were talking about the harm that the 980 corridor, the 980 freeway, did to the city of Oakland. And it's a big pit. And so he was asking for ideas. How much money are we looking at? And like I told Zenny, nobody had a number. And so Pete threw this number out. He said, okay, to make it real easy, why don't I just put a figure of $980 million on the table. And he came up with that number is because of the highway number, 980. And so the project was going to receive up to $980 million of funding support. And at the time, that was before the election. And shortly after the election happened and Sheng Tao was declared the winner, did she go after that $980 million? No, she went after a dead topic, which was the Oakland A's. You know, she pursued and spent several tens of thousands of dollars wasting time trying to lure the Oakland A's back, which was already sealed and delivered back in October of 2022. And they said they were done with Oakland. So those are a couple of things that I'm talking about doing. Some of the major points of my candidacy. I'm not running on ego. I'm actually bringing something to the table that's tangible and real and possible. I know what agencies that need to be contacted, the relationships that have to be nurtured, and in order to move forward. And this is setting Oakland up for the future. We're talking about a lot of jobs, nearly 25,000 new jobs minimum here in the city of Oakland. And these are not white-collar jobs. These are blue-collar jobs, folks, blue-collar jobs. And they're living wage jobs. These are not, for minimum wage or anything. These are real living wage. And we're going to give Oaklanders first right of refusal on everything here in Oakland. We want to bring Oaklanders in to Oakland. We want Oaklanders to buy into Oakland. That's what the cruise ship project is. You buy your cabin, you own it. You become a home owner in the city of Oakland. That's how we're going to get our home ownership above 52%. That is the national average, 52%. We want to be at least average. We don't want to be where we're at right now, which is far below average at 38% and still dropping. So these are some things for you to think about and consider. We need a candidate that's a person of action, that's going to take action, that has a plan of action, not just a person of few words. And that's all I've heard from the candidates. They don't have a clue as to what they want to do in moving forward, in moving Oakland forward. Thanks for joining me. Subscribe to Zenny62. Stay tuned for upcoming things that I'm planning on doing for you, Oakland.